the coronavirus? What do you think?
I think it's just like Ebola and Zika and SARS. Every 2 years, there's this new thing, and I don't know, man. I don't know. There's different theories. There's one theory that says, here's one theory. They're saying, because apparently, even though your phone says 5G, they haven't rolled it out yet. We actually don't have 5G. Because if we do have 5G, my phone says 5G all the time, and it sucks. LTE crushes my 5G. But apparently, I could be wrong. They're saying, no, 5G isn't even rolled out yet. It's just saying it on your phone, and they're just advertising it, but they're not even using it yet. When they do use it, it's going to fuck people up. That's what they're saying. There's a conspiracy theory that 5G is going to fuck people up. Like the waves, the way it works is going to, and the symptoms from 5G apparently are like radiation sickness symptoms, like flu symptoms. Like if you have radiation sickness, it feels like you have the flu. Apparently, this is what I'm hearing. This is just the theory. So they're saying, one theory is that Wuhan was the first city in China to roll out 5G, fucked everybody up. So they blame it on the corona. And they're saying everyone's got corona when really the 5G's fucking everybody up. That's just a conspiracy theory. That's what I'm reading. Who the fuck knows? I think it's another theory is it's just they do this every couple of years, Zika, Ebola, SARS, to fuck up elections. Like, obviously, when it comes to Trump, the fake Russian hoax, that failed. The fake rape claims failed. The fake impeachment failed. All that shit, they're trying to frame him and they're trying to fucking destroy him. And it's all not working. So the one thing that Trump has done for us is he's made our economy better than it's been in 50 years or something like that. Maybe that's a lie. I don't know. Maybe our economy sucks. But I know my jiu-jitsu association is stronger than ever. And that's a direct reflection of the economy, in my opinion. I think for me, the economy is great. So when people say, dude, the economy is better than ever, it's better than it's been in 50 years. I agree with that because 10th planet's blowing the fuck up. So the way, like their last hope, there's a conspiracy theory. The last hope is, okay, let's do another Zika, Ebola operation where we scare everybody. Apparently 20,000 to 50,000 people a year die from the flu. So there's people dying all the time of the flu, but you never hear about it. But if you take this human coronavirus, which is on the back of Lysol, if you look at the back of a Lysol spray can, it lists all the viruses that it kills, and it says human coronavirus. And so it's not like it's new. It's just like the technical name for a kind of flu. Flu is like, there's a bunch of different strains of flu, and they have a bunch of different names. So one theory is this is just a psyop to fuck the economy up, and that it's working. If that's what it is, it's working because the stocks, I don't know anything about stocks, but apparently they tumbled and like the economy's like taking a big hit. So that's a theory that it's all just an operation, just like Zika, just like Ebola, and then one person died in the United States and everybody's freaking out. 50,000 people a year die from the flu. So 6 people a year die from like coconuts falling on their head or something like that. So one person died in Washington and it was an old lady. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I have no idea. Another theory is, man, there's a theory that I don't know. The people are saying we can't even see viruses. They're too small to even see. Like we could see bacteria, but even through an electron microscope, apparently we can't see viruses. So that's why when you go to Google and you put in virus, it's going to show you a bunch of CGI pictures. Like it's never like an actual picture of a virus in a cell. It's all CGI. And when you do that, you're like, shit. So people, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe like, how do we know what the fuck is going on? How do we know if we can't see it? So I've grown into a person that I don't believe shit unless I could see it or I could prove it for myself. Otherwise, you don't have to believe in shit. You could just say, I don't know. I don't believe you, but I don't know. You don't have to make a choice. Like, oh, you either have to believe or not. Like, I don't know, dude. After so many, how many lives does it take? How many more Ebolas and all? How many more before you go, okay, enough of the shit? How many does it take? People forget about, like, they're doing this every 2 years. It's always a new fucking virus.
Could it even be nothing and like just it's something to get us to talk about it? Because like, that's all anyone's talking about.
You talk about it, it affects the economy. That's what they're saying. That's a conspiracy theory. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
How many millions of dollars has Corona beer lost? It's like tens of millions of dollars, right?
More people die of Corona beer than of the virus.
Fuck.
That's a fact. People getting drunk on that shit, have liver failure, you know? So I don't know what to think about this shit. There's just so much. All I know is that the left is politicizing the shit out of it. They're blaming Donald Trump for the fucking coronavirus. They're blaming them. They're blaming him. The New York Times put up an article. We should call this the Trump virus. If you get sick, you know who to blame. So the left is politicizing this shit.
Why blame Trump? Because he cut back on
whatever you could think of. It's
know.
like, okay, it's like this is like
at all.
It's like how could we blame Trump? Okay, this is how they're coming up with the ideas. How could we blame Trump? He let's just say he cut funding to the CDC. Yes, let's say that. Did he? No, but let's just say it. So they put out these reports that he cut funding to the CDC, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, what a fucking time to do this during the coronavirus." Meanwhile, he didn't cut shit. It's a complete lie. What we're seeing now, we're seeing that you always are suspicious of what politicians say and what you hear on the news. People always say, "Yeah, I don't believe that shit. I don't believe." But to actually be able to see to hear their lies and know their lies. That's new. We're actually watching them and specifically knowing what the lies are. You know what I mean? So they're trying to blame Trump for the fucking virus. For one person dying in Washington, let's blame Trump. Let's crash the economy. They want an apocalyptic event. Like the left, because Trump is busting them. That's what's going on right now. Trump is busting. Think about the impeachment. The whole impeachment thing was about Trump calling the president of the Ukraine and asking him to look into the corruption the Bidens are doing in Ukraine. Look at these scams they're running, these tax scams. You know, look into that shit. And so that's what the impeachment is about. The impeachment is about Trump is trying to dig up dirt on his political rival because he's running for president, Joe Biden. Look, let's impeachment for trying to dig up dirt. Meanwhile, Biden is on video sitting at the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, sitting there bragging that he got a prosecutor fired from the Ukraine who was going after his son's company in Ukraine. So Joe Biden put his son, Hunter Biden, on the board of Burisma, an energy company, corrupt ass energy company that a prosecutor was looking into and seizing assets and stuff. So they were to Joe, because Joe Biden was assigned to Ukraine. Like that was his shit. He was the vice president and Obama put him in charge of Ukraine. So Burisma's going, dude, get this fucking prosecutor out my fucking ass, right? So Biden said, okay, of course, because his son's on the goddamn board. Of course he's going to get that. So he's at the CFR. You can watch this on YouTube. You could watch, there's all the, he's bragging. And he says, he's telling all these Illuminati guys saying, hey, listen, I told the guy, I said, listen, you better fire that prosecutor. And listen, I'm leaving in 6 hours. Where were we living? We were living in like 6 hours, right? Yeah, 6 hours. I told him, I go, you're not going to get your $1 billion in aid unless you fire the prosecutor. And then he said, you know what he said? He goes, you don't have the authority. You're not the president. He goes, you know what I said? Call Barack, see what happens. And everyone's laughing. All these old motherfuckers are laughing. Council on Foreign Relations. That's Rockefeller shit. And he's bragging in front of all these people, these old people who actually make all the laws. And he goes, and guess what? Boom, he was fired. And they're all laughing. Ah, ha, 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 ha. So it's on video. He was holding back $1 billion. Do you know what they do? Is they get $1 billion in aid. We got to help Ukraine. They're getting tortured. Let's send them $1 billion. And everybody, they're tugging at everybody's hearts. Yes, let's sign this bill. Send them $1 billion. No one's getting no fucking aid. When we send $1 billion of aid to countries, no one's getting that money. That's all going in people's pockets. You know what they do? They let's say maybe half of it goes to whatever corrupt politicians in the Ukraine are getting it. And the other half, the deal is, donate to our foundations, and that's how they launder it through their foundations as donations. So that's how they make the deals. That's what Trump's busting. Trump's busting all the shit. And the only reason Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was on the board, he has no experience in energy. He didn't even show up. He's just on a board, and he gets $80,000 a month from Ukraine tax money. So they're just trading tax money. That's all they're doing. All this tax money. We'll send you $1 billion. You send 500 back here. And it's a lot of these motherfuckers. That's why they're going after Trump, because he's busting. It's not just Biden. Biden's running for president. He's running for president for protection. Because if you're running for president, they like if he wasn't running for president and Trump said that, he said, hey, listen, look into all this shit Biden's doing, and he wasn't running for president, that's totally legal. They'd have it open up an investigation and they'd crush him. Biden knew that this was going down. So that's why he's running for president. He's got protection. You can't come after me. You're coming after you can't attack a political rival. We could impeach you. So that's why the impeachment never happened, because when it got down to the facts, he did nothing. He did nothing wrong. He was looking into corruption. So if they're willing to do that to the fucking president, dude, they're trying to frame him. And that's not the first time. The whole Russian collusion thing. That's what's the investigation on how that started. That's what's going on right now. But as they were investigating with Bob Mueller and all that shit, dude, they were just trying to frame him because he's busting everybody. He's not part of DC. So they brought in Trump because they knew he had big balls. It's not his idea.